morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to this week's Weekly Energy Boost. My name is Elisheva, and today I'm here with Eitan to break down the art of manifestation. This is one of our most requested topics, and I think it has so much meaning and so much attachment to the word manifestation. It's thrown around so much these days, and especially in the context of what we're talking about this week and where we are in the Kabbalistic calendar, it's an important conversation, not only for the time that we're in, but for all times. How do we manifest? What do we do when things are blocked? And how do we know what the universe is trying to tell us when things go either way? Weekly Energy Boost is a 7-day spiritual weather forecast where we provide our listeners with the most powerful and practical tools to navigate the coming 7 days from the teachings and the wisdom of Kabbalah. So every episode reveals timeless wisdom and tools to help you not only make the most of this week's opportunities, but opportunities that might come at you any time of the year. And because we're now in the month of Pisces, which on the Kabbalistic calendar is also the last month of the year, the last month of the yearly cycle. Next week, we'll talk about the new moon of Aries and what that holds for us. But what that translates to in a practical sense is we are finishing the tank of energy that we drew last year. And we want to make sure that we take advantage of every spark of light that we've connected with, that we're using that energy in the best way possible, and also that we're creating space to draw more light when the month of Aries begins, which again, we'll talk about when it comes, but there is that in a way, universal pressure, which you may feel to get things done, to see results, to have proof that your efforts are working, are valuable, are necessary. And we want to make sure that we're not misguided by that pressure for results, for manifestation, and learn really how to work with the way that the universe manifests, so that what we manifest is not just temporary, isn't just relief, isn't just a sign for us that we're in the right place. We want to manifest in a way that leads to lasting blessings. So, Eitan, where do we begin?
So there's a section in the Zohar in regards to the energy of this week, which has to do with the manifestation of the tabernacle, that says that Moses and the craftsmen that were involved in the work of building the tabernacle, which is the mini temple during the time of the Israelites in the desert, they began the work, and then it manifested by itself, magically. As we know, the Torah, the Zohar, are giving us timeless lessons. So it's about manifestations in our life. So let's speak about the first point on true manifestation. It says about Moses, the reason he was chosen to be one of the greatest channels and leaders to manifest light and blessings in this world, there's amongst many qualities, 3 amazing qualities. Number 1, he would make maximum effort, push himself physically, spiritually, to lead, to give, to change, to come from a place of humility, to make an effort. So that's number 1, maximum effort. Number 2, every night he reflected upon the past day and he learned lessons of improvement that he would apply the next thing. Number 3, in you he cannot manifest anything. Only the light can actually bring into fruition something in this world that will be lasting. And what does it mean? What does it mean practically? A lot of people called manifestors, and people who can push and do. But what does it mean only the light can manifest? I think it's clear when a couple come together and the woman gets pregnant, and then 9 months later you see a child coming out to this world. It's a clear miracle. Yeah, we made our effort. I think the mother made more effort than the guy. Absolutely, there is a process. There's the quality of the pregnancy and how you accept the difficulties and the nauseas and the ups and the downs and the discomforts. But at the end of the day, real manifestation is magical. And only a fool would think, I did it. But in other areas of our life, it doesn't look this way. And I want to share a story that I think it's not a real story, but a story that demonstrates how is the partnership between us making maximum effort and the light of the Creator manifest. It's actually, what's the balance? So there's a guy that had a very modest house, and he always dreamed about a big house, beautiful house. He didn't have the means to buy it, and he had a dream. And in the dream he saw God, and God told him, my son, you're going to wake up for your dream's house, the most magnificent house on top of the mountains, amazing view, breathtaking view, unbelievable. More than your dreams. He got excited in a dream. And then he told him, but just one thing. In order to be able to enjoy also outside of the house, you have to, actually there's a rock that's blocking the exit, the entrance, the exit to the house. And you would need every day, consistently, to push the rock for 30 minutes a day. And eventually, the rock will move. The guy wake up in the morning, exactly what God promised. More than his expectation. 20,000 square foot house on top of the mountain. Magnificent. So joyful. Actually, he didn't care even to go outside. He just enjoyed it. But God said, you have to push the rock. So he saw this huge rock. He didn't see how it's possible and logical to actually move it, but he pushed for 30 minutes, and the next day for 30 minutes, the next day, and actually he realized after like a couple of weeks, I'm stuck in the house. I love the house, but I would like to be outside. And it doesn't seem to be that the rock is moving at all. And he pushed again 30 minutes, and then after a month, he started to doubt that it's possible, because God says so. He pushed 20 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. And then he stayed there for years and years and just touched the rock every day. And he died there in the house. Never went outside of the house. Full with resentment and anger towards life, towards God. And he arrived up there and he sees God. And God is asking, why are you so resentful? Why are you so angry? He said, because you promised me that I'll be able to move the rock. And God told him, I told you your job is to push the rock consistently 30 minutes a day, and I will move it. You gave up. And in real manifestation, you need to see that partnership. And it always needs to be open. Part of allowing manifestation. We are not a manifester. Our job is to allow manifestation through us. And part of this process is questioning, asking, because our ego would tell us, I can actually bring into fruition something. And it's in every area in my life. In a business area, in relationship area, even when we are under the chuppah, in a wedding. A couple get married. We do our maximum effort, but we need tremendous help from above to manifest that union to last forever. We all know that. So we need to create the fact that step number one, the fact that I'm aware I can make the maximum effort, I still need the support of the light, and I need to ask for that, to allow real manifestation. And it's not necessarily according to exactly my plan, which we'll get into it. So that's step number one. There's many other steps, but that's step number one. What would you say about it, Elisheva, and what would you say the next step for you?
Well, I think that part of what challenges us when we talk about manifestation is that we question the pushing process, right? Sometimes amazing blessings fall into people's laps and they feel like they did nothing to attract it, create it. In the work that we do with individuals, I hear many times, this person found their dream job, this person found their soulmate, and I'm working so hard and I'm making such an effort, and why don't I have the blessings that I desire? I wish I had $1 for every time someone said to me, maybe God doesn't want me to have that. So I think part of what challenges us in that quest for manifesting something that's really aligned with us, and that's something that I often question as well, is if it's not manifesting, maybe it's not meant to be. Maybe my desire isn't in the right place, or maybe there are certain belief systems that are blocking me from manifesting this in a great way. But how do we really know even? How do we know that what we're trying to manifest is aligned with our soul's purpose, or is going to be the best thing for us and everyone around us? I think that that's part of the questioning process. To me, it's like turning on the water to boil. And then when you start to question, you turn the fire off. You're not sure if you should be pushing the rock at all. And then you start pushing again, and it's turning the water starts to boil, but it doesn't pick up where you turned it off. You have to start the pushing process all over again. And I think that the process, that internal or even mental process, can really block things from coming to fruition in the best way possible.
So I think, as you said, Elisheva, you said the important thing. How do you know it's aligned with your soul? Because the first step is intention. And that's something that I'm trying to do every day in my connections, in my meditations, in my prayer with the Creator. Please, the Creator, allow me to manifest the light that I meant to manifest. The energy, the work, the value that I came to bring to this world. Because I know that if it's not going to be aligned to actually what I meant to do, it will not bring true happiness and true joy into my life. And I need to be truly honest with myself. There's a beautiful verse in the Zohar that says, when a person chases after something that does not belong to him, he's not going to enjoy it in a long term, and he's going to lose the connection to what really belongs to him. What does it mean? It means that in the upper world, in the unmanifested world, in the unseen world, there's already exactly my unique added value and contribution to whatever manifestation I'm doing. Even if it's business, if it's in relationship, if it's in the friends, if it's the charity project that I'm doing, in anything in our life. It's already there. So I think the intention, I beg the Creator, allow me to align to what belongs to my soul. And I don't want just to chase after things that are appearing. If I'll manifest it, I'll be happy. So that's number one, intention. Number two, you said something else. For some people, manifestation come easy. For some people, hard. Let me tell you something. All of us have areas that things are manifesting magically in our life, and it's already continuations of past lifetime work. The fact that we were born with certain talent, it's manifestation of a talent. So not all of us struggling. We all have areas that we're not struggling and getting gifts from the Creator that manifests itself in our life, in our body. But we all have areas that we are struggling. And in those areas, we need to inject so much more intention and desire. And you're asking a good question. How do you know that you need to keep pushing certain business deal, certain relationship that is on and off, on and off, and on and off? I don't know. Actually, I don't know the answer. I just know, don't stop pushing because you're lazy, and don't keep pushing because you're too attached and too afraid. Because part of the process, and that's again a little bit deep understanding of manifestation, the Zohar tells us that every energy from the unmanifested to the manifested go through 10 levels of consciousness. The first level is a state of totally no idea that I'm about to channel an idea that I need in my life. Actually, always, Rav Ashla give this example. When you take a seed, it looks like the seed is the beginning of manifestation of the tree. No, the seed need to be rotten and decomposed completely. We call it the state of Ein, the state of nothing. And then starting the process. So step number one is there's the unmanifested realm, and sometimes it's shining on us when we feel nothing in the unknown. Step number two, if you merit and you purify yourself, you get an idea, you get a vision. And that's already from Keter to Chokhmah to the next level. And then you get excited about the idea. You get excited about the manifestation. And it's part of the process. The ego started to think, wow, I'm going to be excited. It's going to be lucrative. I'm going to feel good. People will say good things about it. By the way, it's a process that all of us going through. From the unmanifested to manifested, our ego is become bigger and bigger, and we have expectations, and we don't have patience for the process, and we want to sit and we can feel the sugar that it would bring. But remember, just before manifestation, in order to allow the blessing to stay in whatever you manifest, you need to somehow let go. So the energy comes all the way from Keter, from the unmanifested, down to the Malchut, to the manifested. When we ego started to be attached and imagining and defined by this, and worry if it's not going to happen, and so excited if it's going to happen. But then, in order to allow real revelation of the light, has to be a letting go. And the letting go can happen, suddenly something happen against your plan completely. Or there's a delay, or major change. It's not going direction that you want. And all this is opportunity to let go of the ego and to trust. You know what? I'm letting it go. Because we don't want just to manifest something in the 1% world. You manifest a house, you manifest a marriage, you manifest a business, and then you feel empty and lonely without energy. We want the 1%, which is the physical manifestation, with the infusion of the light in it. So you have to have the original intention right, allow ideas to come towards fruition, and it's an inevitable process. The ego will get excited, and then look for the opportunity to let go of the ego, to restrict the I, to surrender. It's an inevitable process. And it's a constant process.
I think what's really powerful about what you shared is that it's actually, I think maybe in the real world, in the physical, in the business world, let's say, the mentality is push, 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 push. Don't take no for an answer. Don't let go. Don't sleep. Don't eat. Just make it happen. Hustle, 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 hustle. And then the Kabbalists come and say, if there isn't letting go. Now, letting go doesn't mean walking away, right? Letting go for every person is going to be relative to what stretches them or what their attachment is to what they're manifesting. But it's not the push, 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 push that manifests. It's actually taking your hands off the wheel and allowing or getting out of the way. And not, that's I think the tricky part when it comes to manifesting a business deal, or also a partner. We get very specific with what we want. Our ego starts to confine our perception of what's possible. It can happen this way or that way. They need to have this kind of job or come from this city or that, right? The ego's tendency is to narrow our perspective of what's possible. And you just use that word there. The source is unmanifested, undifferentiating. It's limitless. So part of the letting go is actually what then connects us with the unlimited possibilities. Do I need to choose between this job or that job? Or can I do something that I don't even perceive or can't even conceive of right now that's going to really bring me the lasting fulfillment? But there's a question that we get often, and I'm excited to see how we can shine this perspective, right? You shared already, intention comes first, right? That's the foundation for it. The second part, and I think that this is something that's, again, one of those mind games, I think, related to belief systems and things like that, that we need to know that it's possible. The trust, the certainty, the fact that you even have the desire or the vision for it means that it's possible. And not to be busy with the, do I deserve it? Do I not deserve it? Does God love me? Does God want it for me? That our work is pushing the rock, not questioning, how did the rock get there? Do I really want a rock? Maybe I should be pushing a goat, right? Like the head trip. If we're not present, we're not pushing. And so for me, that level of trust and certainty that the idea came to me for a reason, even if the ultimate manifestation isn't what I had in my original idea, that divine message that came to me, that concept, I need to push toward it regardless of what's going to turn out, knowing that there is a reason that it came to me in that way. And that, for me personally, that's the hardest part of the formula to hold on to, is to not get busy in the why isn't it happening? Maybe it's the wrong thing, maybe it's the wrong people, maybe it's the wrong time, and questioning the whole design of it. When, right, you just said, I'm not the designer, I'm simply the effort maker. I'm the instrument, let's say, to bring it into reality, but I'm not actually the music.
Exactly. And here is I think it's a very valid point, because here is the paradox in life. We're always saying we need to transform ourselves, we all have tikkun, we all have issues to overcome, we all have egos. And very often when we're in a process towards manifestation, we might remember when things are tough, we might remember all the issues that I have, and I'm not pure, and I'm some selfish. It's the wrong time to focus on that. Because it says a blessed or a blessing, which is the energy of the Creator, cannot dwell in a person that feels flawed and unblessed. So while I'm making the effort towards manifestation, doubting myself and questioning myself and seeing maybe I'm all wrong, it's not actually inviting the light to join me into bringing blessings into fruition. But at the same time, if I'm making real effort, and whenever I'm rejected, or when things suddenly being pushed, it's like that person that just shared the other day in the class that he was really working on manifesting a loan that will help him to create a huge project, real estate project in Atlanta. And And while he had everybody aligned and so many employees aligned and the other banks aligned, he got hard no during COVID. And that hard no initially was painful because he had the vision, but then he said restriction, opportunity to infuse the light. I'm sure it's for the best. Greater good is coming, but that pushed him to become deeper and to ask for guidance. And he came up with an amazing, again, came from the Creator, amazing new ideas how to actually borrow money in such more effective ways that open doors for so many more projects. So sometimes part of the process of pushing and letting go and pushing and letting go is being open for the guidance of the light, being deeper. Don't just hit the wall with your head again and again, because through every rejection there's also a lesson. I'm open. I'm not doubting myself. I'm open. Sometimes the light will show you a totally new direction it's supposed to go. So that's an essential dance all of us needs to go through.
There's another part to it, though, that, and I think maintaining the strong desire and continuing to push is a bit of a conflict with the third, I guess, step that we're talking about, is feeling as though you already have it. You know, being in that state of my soulmate is already with me, the deal is already complete, I already got the promotion, I already healed, I recovered from the issue. How do we stay in that state of I'm continuing to push the rock regardless of the results that I see or I don't see, and also feeling at the same time, it's already mine. I did it already, it's done.
So, yes, definitely. I think it's, again, what is certainty beyond logic? Certainty beyond logic is the fulfillment is there, but we should not confuse with being attached with a specific outcome, because that's dangerous. When I'm attached to a specific outcome and I'm just envisioning specific outcome, it might be my ego that wants to envision that. So it's so important that I'm allowing myself to feel the fulfillment of the final fruit and the final destination, but without limiting how specifically the blessings, the manifestation will show itself up. It's okay to see yourself abundant. It's okay to envision yourself filled with love while you parallel to that pushing, but don't attach yourself to the specific deal, to the specific way you're going to find, and who is she? Sometimes you attach she or he is my soulmate. And it becomes our own ego, our own plans, our own desire for myself alone without connecting to the big picture. So certainty beyond logic is to be able to imagine and to feel, not just to think it, to feel it in our heart, that fruition is already here. And it's with the help of the light. I still need to make an effort. Redemption will come. Blessings will come. The problem is, what I'm envisioning specific, I might get it, it might be the wrong thing for me.
I think that the quiet message, the message behind what you just shared, is that it's not enough to have intention. It's not enough to have certainty, right? This is where I think Kabbalah departs from the law of attraction. It's not about it, meditating on it until it comes into reality. The maximum effort piece is our work, right? We are the only species on the planet that has the ability to draw the light of the Creator into the physical reality. So that means that, yes, the intention is important and the certainty beyond logic is important, but it's not enough to allow manifestation to take place. the action, the Kabbalists call our world the world of action, not the world of meditation, not the world of attraction, but the world of action. So even, let's say, for example, you're listening to this episode and you're thinking, I have been fixated on a certain kind of person, dating only people that are like this or like that, or that have check these 5 boxes. What does maximum effort look like in a situation where you don't know what's going to manifest? You're interviewing for 20 jobs and you don't know what the best one is or what's the right one for you. How do you make maximum effort when the outcome is unclear?
Yeah, I think that's part of the spiritual work. Effort, when you see tangible result, it's easy. You see the payout. You already can feel it. But effort, when you feel blocked and it's unknown and it's not clear, that's our test in life. And it's effort, spiritual and physical, that require the muscles of the soul. The muscles of the soul. Think about the spiritual work. We all have daily discipline of meditating, of praying a few times a day, of taking upon ourselves actions of giving. And sometimes you don't feel great. And then sometimes you don't see where does it take you. So you're going to do it just because it has to, because it said so, because it's written, because the Zohar said, because the Torah said. Then you're not going to manifest any real unlimited blessings. The key of manifesting blessing is those moments that you inject effort without seeing results. Those are the real moments that you allow magic in. Like, I don't know if you heard or if we spoke about it in one of the episodes about the Chinese bamboo tree, that you're supposed to water it, and you water it for 5 years. And you don't see any spark of it coming out. And then in 6 months, after 5 years of watering it, it's blossoming into 60 feet, if I'm not mistaken, of high bamboo. So imagine the real test of effort is when you don't get immediate consequence to your effort. That's what makes spiritual effort real. That's what makes physical effort real. When you don't see results. That's the real test. But the test is, when results are manifested, some people, you see, I worked hard for this. You see, I made it happen. So you need really to constantly remember, number one, who gave you the effort to inject, the Creator. Number two, true manifestation and true fruitions and true blessings coming only from one source, not from other. The fact that it looks like there was nothing and you're such a hard worker. If that's what you believe you manifested, you will be left empty, and that thing that was manifested in your life will not have long-term blessings.
It also will stop being fulfilling. You achieve it, you reach it, it manifests, and then you look for the next. It's no longer, if we're really honest, it's the effort that actually creates the fulfillment and not the manifestation itself. Right? I think that's something that we forget when the manifestation is already in the rearview mirror. We forget that the growth is actually, what do they say? The process is the purpose. The fact that there is something that comes as a result of it, that we have proof, validation, the relationship, the income, whatever it is secondary to the fact of how we had, what it took for us to get there, to be that instrument of manifestation. So I'm excited for everybody to this week really reflect on. I know that for me, one of the things that I like to do every so often, and specifically in this time of year, is to think about all the things I wanted to do, I meant to do, I said I would do, and see if there's any more energy I can be putting into those things that don't seem to be moving forward. That, it's very, like you said, it's easy to put energy towards something that's showing movement, that you see progress, that you get feedback, that there's a return on it. But to look in those areas of our life this week to see where maybe we're pushing the rock 5 minutes a day, whereas in the beginning we were pushing 30 minutes a day. Or, where we said we would do something, but nobody responded. So we said, so maybe it's not so important for me to do it. To really try and close those circles the openings that we created to manifest things, to put that extra effort there and allow the light to manifest it for us. Anything else before we sign off?
So it's combination, maximum effort, but I'm not the manifestor. And asking the Creator to help me to manifest.
Well, we want to hear from you, how the process goes for you and what you notice about yourself. So reach out to us. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Your comments, your questions, your messages are really valuable to us, and we like to see the conversation going. If you follow us on those platforms, you can receive more content to support you in doing the work that we talk about every week. You can also visit weeklyenergyboost.com to see more about things we think are important for our listeners, to check out our archives, to send us a message, to click the donate button and support our podcast. But as always, the most powerful thing you can do is to share this episode with friends, with family, with people who need this message and can really create a dramatic shift in doing the work, not only for themselves, but as we all awaken to how we're pushing the rock this week and how we're manifesting, we can create miracles for the entire world. We'll see you next week on the Weekly Energy Boost.